Ah, crap. I muted myself. Hey guys, it's the Unsmooth Criminal. And I'm still recording unsmoothly. Bad jokes, I know. But today, I'm only going to be able to get one video. I'm still behind a video. I need to catch up. But, wait, no. If I record today and record tomorrow, I'm caught up. Then I'll be behind again. Because Wednesday. So I'm going to try to finish this series within the next... today, tomorrow, and Monday. So, yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoy me trying to rush, but not rush at the same time. So, we left off right before the Heroes vs. Villains exercise. And I forgot what I made Izumi say last, but Izumi is just releasing bloodlust towards All Might, and All Might walks up being like, okay, everybody, get ready, get in your teams, and everybody gets in their teams. Izumi's with Bakugo. Everybody picks their preferred person. And one person gets left out. Kendo. And Kendo is a master of... I'm going to make her special. Dual-wielding hammers. Because her huge hands allow her to grab the hammer. There's a handle completely. So she's been left out. So Izumi, he whistles, and everybody hears this whistle because it reverberates through the entire area around them. And it's weird. And a portal opens above them. And Rose jumps down. And everybody looks around, seeing where this Umbra little energy is coming from, and finally look at Rose. And Izumi walks up to Rose, being like, hey girl, help her. And points at Kendo. And Rose glares at her, and she goes, don't worry, I'll give you more today than last night. And Rose just nods like, okay, I agree. And Bakugo's like, what did you give her? And she goes, oh, dinner. Yeah, she's very picky. And Bakugo's like, what do you even feed her? And she goes, oh, umbral behemoths. Bakugo's, wait, what? She goes, yeah. Apparently, umbral behemoths like eating their own kind. It's like a delicacy for them. But they normally just eat aether. And she goes into depth of the anatomy of a behemoth, and Bakugo's like, oh, okay, hold on. You could slow down and just not go into such depth. And she was fine. But behemoths like eating their own species. Or element, to be more exact. And this is why there's not many Thrax around. And Bakugo's like, what do you mean? And she goes, well, Thraxes are the most... how should I say this? Delicious out of the umbral behemoths. And she goes, wait, what? That makes no sense. She goes, exactly. Well, time to get on to the exercise. And this entire time, Aizawa's been watching them like, what's going to happen? I have the popcorn ready. What's going to happen? Finally, All Might's like, are you ready? Team 1. And he lists off 2 teams for Team 1. And then he goes, Team 2. And then he lists off 2 more. He's doing it more of a bracket style fight. Oh, crap. And then he lists off 2 more teams. Eijiro Kirishima and Kaminari. No. Eijiro Kirishima and Todoroki versus Bakugo and Izumi. So, yeah. This is going to be interesting. And then it's Kendo and Monoma. Yes, Monoma's in Class 1B. It's Kendo versus Monoma. Because Monoma's tired of Kendo beating him upside the head with her huge hands and hammers. So, Kendo easily wins that fight because Rose was helping. Every time Kendo would go in for attack, Rose would open a portal in front of Kendo and drop her on top of the enemy instead of in front of the enemy where she was originally going from. So Kendo started to like Rose, and Rose started to like Kendo. No human behemoth love ships here. Sorry. Hold on, I gotta do something. Okay, I'm back. I'll be walking through an echoey area, so sorry about the echo ahead of time. So, no behemoth human ships. Sorry, I know someone in my Discord wanted that. No. Sorry, no. No. But I will do human behemoth friendships. I will do that. So we go to Izumi and Bakugo's fight. Kirishima is currently hardening himself and using his strikers to punch Bakugo. And he thinks hitting girls is not manly, but since Bakugo can hit him hell hard, he's like, I don't care anymore. And Izumi's currently fighting Todoroki. And Todoroki has a good grasp on the fire and ice sides of the aether that he's gained. And since he has fire and ice, and not just ice or fire, he has the downside of getting too cold and getting too hot. But they can balance each other out, so. What people don't know is Izumi's experimenting with herself. She took Umbral Behemoth essence and started drinking it daily. And she's like, I wonder what would happen if I started drinking Radiant Behemoth essence. And her portals have gotten faster to open the more essence she drinks. So instead of 30 seconds to open a portal, it's instant now. Like what a Rift Stalker could do. Or what a Rift Stalker can do, actually. So, after maybe 30 minutes of her testing out her abilities, she's trying something. She covers her right eye. I think it's her right eye. Yeah, it's her right eye that got hit by Umbra Essence. And then her left eye, she remembers her father telling her that they put radiant aether in her left eye so she can see better against radiant weapons and not go immediately blind. And she uses her left eye, and she sees the points in Todoroki where the aether is flowing. And she's like, cool! This is interesting. So she keeps her right eye shut with her eye completely shut. And they are the exact same eye like you see in the picture. They're both galaxy-like. And Todoroki's like, why are you shutting one of your eyes? And she's like, no problem. No reason to you. By the way, if you press here, 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 and here, and she press 4 spots on his chest, he can't use his aether anymore. He can't create ice or fire. Yes, it's like the Byakugan. I know. It's a little overpowered. But it's only for aether. So she can use it on Kendo. Monoma can mimic aether abilities, but cannot copy them. If he sees them enough, he can mimic them, like John's ability for Unordinary. If he knows the ability enough, he can mimic it, but he cannot copy it. So he can grow his hands to twice their normal size, but not 5 times like Kendo can. So she turns off his ability, and he's freaking out like, what did you do? What happened? And she goes, don't worry, I can turn it back on. And he's like, oh my god, what are you? And he's yelling, freaking out, and she goes, you know I gave you those powers, right? And he goes, what? And she goes, yeah, do you not remember? I'm the one who poured Boreas. No, not Boreas. I keep getting Panger and Boreas mixed up. Panger blood, and I dipped you in Hellion blood too. So yeah, I did that. Your ability is not going to be as strong as mine because I had direct essence injected into me, basically, and I constantly consume essence, the aether essence of the behemoths. But that's not a big deal. And he's hearing that constantly consuming the aether essence will make him stronger. And she goes, if you're thinking about consuming aether essence, I must warn you, if you don't have an affinity for the essence, you won't be able to consume it without dying. And he goes, how do you know if you have an affinity? And she goes, you don't. You just try it. And he goes, okay. And she goes, don't try it. I highly suggest you don't try it because I'm only able to see the essence colors of people. And he goes, what is my colors? And she goes, I don't want to know. I have to go into the rift for that, and you have to come with me. I'm not going to do that. And he goes, how did you know that I was able to have Hanger and Hellion? And she goes, because of what the Hellion blood did when it touched your skin. It rolled off your skin on the left side, but on the right side, it got absorbed to your skin. So I'm like, hey, what's the opposite of a Hellion? A Panger. And she's talking with Todoroki, and they're still fighting. They're going back and forth. Todoroki's using chain blades now. Instead of a sword, I think I made him have a sword. Instead of a sword now, he's using chain blades. 1 fire, 1 ice. Fire on his right side, ice on his left. So I can heat up his right side and cool down his left side if needed. It's a Hellion. No, not a. Yeah, it's a Hellion chain blade and a Panger chain blade. And he's still a novice on them. So So after a few hours of more fighting, we go to the final bout. Izumi whistles again. Rose jumps to her side through the rift, and Kendo's currently laying on Rose. And Izumi goes up and flicks Kendo in the forehead and says, Kendo, okay, time to get off. One last bout for everybody. And she goes, what do you mean? And Izumi goes, well, one last bout means one more fight. Duh. And Kendo's like, aw, I don't get to sleep anymore. Rose is so soft. And she goes, you could sleep later on Rose. We have enough room in my room for you to sleep on Rose. And she gives Kendo a room key. And yes, these are old medieval room keys. So, yeah. Okay. So, she is taking to class 1B, and everybody walks into the center of the field, and everything gets dark. And Izumi has consumed Thrax, Shroud, and Rift Stalker. So she has the ability of all of them. And everything gets dark. Everybody looks around. And if you've ever played Minecraft, it's a really good game. You guys should go check it out if you haven't. But there's a thing called blindness. You can only see a certain limit ahead of you. If you play against the Shroud, you only have a certain amount of sight in front of you. And the Shroud can make a clone of itself to distract you. So, okay. Izumi uses her Thrax buddy to box them in. She uses Shinobu to box them in, and Rose to keep them in. If they do escape somehow, she's going to keep them in. And All Might's affected. Aizawa's affected. Nezu's not affected, because he's in the observation room. And he sees her glowing like a behemoth. And he's like, oh, crap. I kind of knew this was coming. But, oh well. And he's just staring at the screen, and someone walks into the observation room. It is Midnight. And she is a umbral behemoth hunter. So she mainly kills radiant behemoths, because she has mainly umbral behemoth armor on. That's why she's so scantily dressed. It's because she normally fights umbral behemoths, and umbral behemoths or normally fights radiant behemoths, because umbral behemoths don't give very much ability to make armor, and when they do, they make really good armor. So we go to Nezu and Midnight. They're currently talking about what's going on, and Nezu finally fills Midnight in that he wanted Izumi to have one last bout where everybody fights her, because she's currently the strongest person in school. And Midnight's like, no, Mirio is. And he goes, on the fighting standpoint, no. On the smarts and fighting standpoint, yes. Because Izumi's still a little behind on school, because she was gone for so long. And Midnight's like, whoa. Are you looking down on Mirio? And he goes, no. I'm actually putting him up on a pedestal. But Izumi currently has the pedestal in her hand and is bench pressing it. And Midnight hears that and goes, "Oh, okay. So what now?" And he goes, "Just watch." And they see 13 different Izumis come out of Izumi. Yes, I'm making her be able to use the Shroud abilities even better than the Shroud can. And so Izumi is controlling all of them at the same time. So she feels all the pain that they should feel, but it's not physical pain, it's just mental pain. So she's currently sitting on a rooftop. And Bakugo uses her left hand to start freezing stuff and her right hand to start heating stuff up. And then the Shroud Izumis come by, and Bakugo sees that they are not the real Izumi and yells, "Destroy the fakes, Izumi will come out then." And all of a sudden, when she was about to say Izumi will come out, she said Izumi, and just was gone. And she's now face to face with Rose and Shinobu. And then she hears a maniacal giggle behind her. And Izumi's face has changed. From the galaxy starry-eyed person to the behemoth hunter that was stuck by herself for so many years that it's really hard to stay sane. And I'll show you that picture in a second. But she looks different. She looks like this. She gains Rift Stalker. Oh god. I'm guessing that's the RP. She gains Rift Stalker appendages. So she gains a Rift Stalker tail and Rift Stalker ears. And her hair turns complete white. And Nezu can't see this. He sees the normal Izumi still. Because he doesn't know he's looking into a loop. Izumi was holding back her bloodlust so much during the fights. Because when she starts fighting, she wants to rip the creature limb from limb with her bare hands. Which she can do. But Bakugo sees this and hears the maniacal giggle. And Izumi, without knowing what she's doing, because she's currently in a blind... all she sees is blood. All she wants is blood. She walks up to Bakugo and plants a kiss on her. And then disappears into the rift. And Bakugo falls down, passing out from blood loss. From a cliche anime nosebleed. And this is the first time Izumi has changed into this form. She's going to still have the galaxy eyes, but she's going to keep the Rift Stalker parts. Now that she's basically accepting her transformation into an umbral behemoth, she's starting to look different. Completely different. And so she teleports in with the rift, and everybody hears this maniacal giggle. And they're looking around like, where is it coming from? Where is it coming from? They finally see look in the direction that they think it's coming from, and they all see clones of this monster walking towards them. And Izumi, her her real body finally snaps her head up and starts sniffing the air. She can smell something. And her anatomy has changed to that of a behemoth. So she can consume aether energy. She can consume aether to survive, which also increases the duration of her life. So she basically uses the rift to get to where the smell is coming from and sees that it's a giant bucket of umbral energy, or umbral aether. And she looks around and she sees the severed head of the Thrax that was saved for the support quarters, or the blacksmithing area, which is currently run by boars. I think it's boars. Maybe boars. It's run by the blacksmith from Ramsgate, not Powerloader. And he sees her appear and knows, oh crap. He hits the emergency stop button for everything. And he immediately calls Nezu saying, do you know what Izumi has been doing? And Nezu goes, yeah, fighting. And he goes, how long? And he goes, hours? And he goes, oh crap. How many times has she used her abilities? And Nezu goes, I don't know, countless. And he goes, God damn it. There's a limit to Izumi. We're currently dealing with Izumi, the hungry form of Izumi, which gains Riftstalker ears and a Riftstalker tail. Her hair changes completely white, and she just goes for anything that smells like umbral aether. And she can smell aether now. So, we're currently dealing with a wild humanoid behemoth. And Nezu's like, but I see her currently staring at Bakugo. And he goes, no, she's currently eating the Thrax head that's in the support course. And he takes a picture and sends it to Nezu. And Nezu sees this and goes, oh crap. And he goes, yeah. And he resets the cameras and he sees that everybody's fighting the shadow versions of Izumi. And Izumi's going easy on them still. Because she doesn't want normal blood, she wants behemoth blood. So she finishes off the head. The bones are left. The skin's left. But the meat's all gone. The brain's all gone. And she walks over to the bucket of umbral aether and he goes, wait. And he pulls a lever. And this giant wall opens up and he goes, that's not what you want. You want this. And puts down a bucket of Thrax blood that they saved from the Thrax. And her eyes widen. And she runs over and starts drinking it. And he puts the umbral aether back in its safe and pushes the lever and puts in a code. And the door shuts. And locks. And then locks again. And then gets sent into the rift. And then locks again. And she's done drinking it. She has a trickle of blood down the side of her mouth. And she smiles at him and hops into the rift. And he says, well, that's crisis averted. And he walks over to the observation room and he sees that Izumi finally came back to where she was supposed to be. And is now fighting with the students. And he goes, Nezu, next time you have a student fighting session that's supposed to last more than a few hours or more than an hour, tell me for me to overwatch it, because currently her condition is unstable because we don't know the side effects of having behemoth aether in a human body. And Nezu goes, what? But she's been stable ever since she got here. And he goes, no, she has not. Ever since she's got here, she's been drinking umbral aether, and she says that she doesn't like the taste of normal food anymore. And Nezu goes, but, and he goes, the only food she eats is behemoths. You know that, right? And he goes, what? And he goes, yes, that's the only food she eats. That's why Lunch Rush won't cook for her. I have to. And Nezu goes, damn, I didn't know that. And he goes, now, if you wouldn't mind, please call off the exercise. And he goes, I can't. It's whoever survives the longest against Izumi is deemed the winner. And Bakugo is the first one out. And he goes, how was Bakugo the first one out? And he goes, I don't know. She has no physical damage except for a nosebleed. And Boreas looks at the camera and sees, oh. Her animal instincts came out. And Nezu's like, what? And Boreas goes, what is the most basic desire of a population? And he goes, to reproduce? And he goes, yes, to follow their instincts of love and reproduction. And what does Izumi have for Bakugo that she doesn't know she has? And Nezu says, tea. And the blacksmith goes, no. Well, in your terms, yes. And Mina runs out of the arena as fast as possible and runs in and says, tea. I heard tea. I've been summoned by the tea. And Nezu goes, I'll tell you later. And sips his tea. And the blacksmith goes, how the hell do you always have tea on you? And he goes, magic. And he sips his tea again. And Mina starts running back. And she gets back and she's completely exhausted. And she sees Bakugo knocked out while she's running back. Because she's not affected by the Shroud's ability after a certain distance. Hey, Leo, come here. Yeah, my cat Leo's here. Hold on. Hi, Leo. 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 Yeah, say hi to the camera. Say hi to the camera. That's his way of saying hi. That's his way of saying hi. So, after another 30 minutes of them fighting, Bakugo finally gets back up. I was like, oh god, what happened? And then remembers what Izumi did. And she goes, and passes out again from her nose starting to bleed again. So, after 30 minutes of Izumi completely and utterly demolishing them, because she's only holding back 100%, pretty much 100% of her power, they finally all get knocked out, and Bakugo finally starting to wake up. Again. And Izumi's currently sitting in front of Bakugo, and she has her white hair. Her basically eyes are completely white again, with black lines to it now. And it looks like the pattern of a spider's web, with each point glowing a certain way and a certain color. So it looks like a spiderweb or galaxies in a spiderweb pattern. And Bakugo looks in her eyes and sees this and gets lost in her eyes. Yeah, crap. No. No, 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 no. You do not want to see what's in there. You do not want to see what's in there. So, yeah. Just saying, you do not want to see what's in my downloads. Let's just say it's not YouTube friendly. So Izumi's like, you survived! Walks up to Bakugo, and on instinct, kisses Bakugo again. And then grabs Bakugo and teleports Bakugo into their room with the rift. And then passes out with Bakugo in her arms. And I'm going to end it there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, consider hitting the like button. If you guys made it this far into the video, go to the Discord, put in the answer column. Rift Stalker Izumi. Or in the comments, and I'll heart it immediately. Female Rift Stalkers. Ooh, I should really find a photo. People probably have done it. I'm going to see if someone ruled 34 Rift Stalkers. But if you guys have made it this far into the video, type Rule 34 Rift Stalker into the comments or into the answer column of the Discord, and I will give you points on Discord or heart it on the comments. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Talk to you guys later. Bye. Oh, if you like my content, please subscribe and leave a like if you like this video.